I guess even though we were free, we were still slaves in the mind.
Message!
Welcome. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Know Yourself Academy. It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra here. And as you can see by the title, we are finally completing the Rising Ascendant series with the Pisces Rising Ascendant sign. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, first off, what is a rising sign? Alright, why is your rising sign so important? Your rising sign is a sign that's in your first house, that was rising in your first house when you was born. And this sign right here shows you the energies that you correlate with your personal issues. If it relates to you on a personal level, a person, place, or thing that pertains to you personally, it falls into your first house. All right, this is how you appear to be. Based off your sun and your moon is how you conduct your actions and your reactions, but this is the energy how you appear to be. This is a chunk of your personality and the things that you're naturally into. All right, and the rising house also shows us your personal life path here in this lifetime, with the angles is making with the fourth house, that's a square. The angle the first house is making with the seventh house, which is the opposite, and the angle the first house is making with the 10th house, which is a square. And we know squares and oppositions in astrology represent learning processes. All right, so these are not meant to be viewed as negative things in your chart. These are just learning processes, because once you learn in life, you spiritually expand, and that's what we should all be down here seeking. Now when we talk about Pisces rising sign, all right, first of all, you want to see where Jupiter is at in your natal chart, because that's your chart ruler. So if you have Jupiter in the 8th house, the 8th house area of life is where your personality and your personal issues are going to be the most active and shine the brightest. If you have Jupiter in the 12th house, the 12th house is where your personality is going to be the most active and shine the brightest. All right, so you want to know where your Jupiter is at as a Pisces rising. You also want to know where your Neptune is at, because Neptune is a co-ruler, and Neptune will show you where a lot of your illusions that you have to learn how to filter through will be taking place in your life as well. All right, now as a Pisces rising, this is mutable water. All right, and we got Jupiter and Neptune influence here. So personally, this is a person that's naturally into art, naturally into music, naturally into spirituality, start getting to spiritual things and are curious about spiritual things from the gate. All right, curious about the abstract and very intuitive people. These are another people, they pick up on emotions and feelings like this. Pisces rising people, all right, they have a great way of feeling environments, scenarios, and situations out. All right, these people are natural guidance counselors. Like, you know, all Pisces sun moon risings to an extent, you know, all give off that aura of you being able to, you know, they give you that feeling that you can open up to them a little bit more than you would with a regular person. All right, but natural artists here, natural artists. All right, you know, the Pisces constellation period is like dealing with the abstract and the subconscious. So, you know, people with heavy Pisces energy, it's like they're not even really here a lot of the time. So as Pisces risings, you can see a lot of your personal issues as illusion, because you kind of see the vibration of things and it loses the sense of what is going on in reality, even though we know that things are manifested in our subconscious before they become real, before they come into a physical. However, you know, as Pisces, you can be stuck in that imagination, and that imagination ends up not falling on the positive scale, which is creativity. It can fall on the negative scale, which is an illusion. So when it comes to all your personal issues in your life that you deal with, people, places, and things, you have to be able to ground yourself and look at things from a practical manner, and not just go off how something makes you feel at the moment. All right, or because this is how you create illusions and whatnot, just diving into that fantasy of how great something could look and be, not really understanding the practicality into creating that and bringing that down here. Now in the 4th house is Gemini. Okay, so in the home environment, it's like you grew up around manipulators and you know, learning that, you know, people being sneaky and even you could say, you know, like, not, I don't want to say thieves like actual siblings when they're stealing from you, but like sneaky as if like invading your privacy and being curious about the things in your privacy and the things that you're doing when you're to yourself, and or trying to create your own privacy within the home. You're gonna experience a lot of that energy in the household. So it's important as a Pisces rising that you don't fall on the negative scale of that, of picking up that manipulator type psyche energy and using that onto others, because you know you guys are dealing with it, with the feelings and emotions and vibrations. So it's like being a manipulator, like you guys even know what type of emotional intent to use with that. So it's like growing up in your environment, you're gonna learn the tactics on how to put that into use, so you can be enticed to be manipulated in this lifetime or whatnot. So it's good to try to learn to balance that and use it to be able to learn when people are manipulating you, taking advantage of you instead of you doing the opposite to others. All right. In the seventh house, we have Virgo. All right. So when we talk about the opposition in your lifetime, Virgo is this the opposition energy that is going to be clashing with your personality and your self point of view. All right. Now, when we talk about opposition, it's a give and exchange. So the others got to learn to have that give and exchange. So in the seventh house with Virgo here, the seventh house is how you relate to others on people, places, and things on a one-on-one level. So when you have Virgo here, you're gonna manifest, you know, people that critique you, people that try to see every detail and every flaw and everything about you, and it seems like people just try to load up data on you to use against you at times or whatnot. Whether the critique is coming from a positive or negative spectrum, you're gonna be criticized or whatnot with the people you deal with and in environments that you're dealing with in this lifetime when you're relating to the external realm. And this can really bother you as a Pisces rising, because you yourself, you're a person that goes off the feeling and intuition. So it's like a person can make you feel a type of way about something that's not even true, but you can't allow yourself to be that open-hearted that you can't allow people to you cannot give people that much power, for them to manipulate your feelings and your emotions like that. So as a Pisces rising, you know, when you pick up on the intuition that you may be getting done wrong or whatnot, you roll with that, because most of the times y'all really know how to pick up on the vibes. You gotta learn not to ignore them. All right. And as you get older, y'all gonna start really realizing, like, yo, I cannot be ignoring my vibes. Like, I cannot ignore my gut instinct or my intuition. Like, I just can't stop doing that to myself no more, because time after time I prove myself wrong. But as you get older, you're gonna learn that. But in the seventh house, yeah, you manifest relationships of people critiquing you or whatnot. And it's also like, you know, manifest partners that could be dry with you. All right. Partners that express their love and how they care about through critiquing you or whatnot. And, you know, you as a Pisces rising, is mutable water, so you want that exchange of love, affection. Venus is exalted here, so you want that exchange of vibration. But when you're manifesting partners and whatnot that don't have that, it makes you try to filter through certain illusions or whatnot to see, is this person's way of loving, or is this person just taking advantage of my love and everything else that I bring with my love? Because we know you Pisces risings, or you Pisces sun and moons, when y'all love, y'all can love. All right, if there was an actual love school, you know, the principal and all that most likely would be a Pisces. You feel me? Like, but that's how it like most likely plays out in the seventh house. So you have to see that, like, you know, when y'all put your heart out there, it's easy for somebody to take advantage of that, because they see how open you are emotionally. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna just blind her with this fake reciprocation of energy while utilizing her for what I needed, utilizing him or her, whatever, for how I need it, because it goes both ways. So this is like the opposition you're gonna have to learn in the seventh house, when to, like, you know, let yourself be expressive of your love, your emotions and feelings, you feel me, and learn when to get practical. Boom, boom. That's the exchange in the seventh house, and not just relationships, but when you're relating to people, places, and things, environments, period. All right, in this lifetime. All right, and then when we get to the 10th house, we have Sagittarius here. All right. Yeah, so we have Sagittarius here. Yeah, no, I just be having to keep my little notes and all that, because it's the lucky Libra. I can ramble elsewhere. I be having had that just to, okay, that's where we was at. So we have Sagittarius in the 10th house. All right, so in the 10th house, the 10th house is how you rise to a status or something, whether it's a career, a goal, rise to a status in a relationship, or in a business or whatever. All right, and also dealing with your social status, period. All right, how we see you, how we know you to be from what you've accumulated from your personal travels and your experience. So it's like in the 10th house with Sagittarius here, you have to learn to attach, not more so attach meaning, because, you know, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, so it does like doing things with meanings and reasonings, but having the feeling behind it, because it's water. But in the 10th house, when it comes to rising to a status in a business, of a deal, of a goal or relationship, there has to be, you know, you're gonna gain certain wisdom, and through Jupiter being your chart ruler, by the time you get to the 10th house, this is when all that wisdom and your experiences and things you picked up from not listening to your gut instinct and learning about being aligned with your vibrations, emotions, this is when you're going to have to learn to be expressive of that and spread that fire, that wisdom, because Sagittarius is mutable fire. And this is also, you guys share Jupiter. So this square shares the Jupiter energy. So here, this is when you got to learn to be mutable fire. Let me push that energy out. Let me get into the masculine version of Jupiter. And this is how you rise to status in your relationship, relating your wisdom, relating your experience, all right? Not being so introverted with it, all right? Not allowing others, not being so passive with it that you allow somebody else to get their point of views across about how they feel about something, whether it's like in a relationship, to the point you have to feel like, okay, in order to make this work, let me just let this person get their way. Nah. You know what the wisdom you've accumulated in your life about relationships and relating to other people and whatnot, and you've seen the effects of picking up on vibrations and seeing how things manifest. So when you get into a position, when you're trying to rise to a status or something, make sure you use that wisdom that you accumulated as a foundation for you to build in the things that you're doing. You don't want to neglect and ignore all of these experiences in your life that you've been through, because you've been through some things that helped you gain a certain amount of wisdom, that when it's to the point in your life when you're really trying to rise to the status and accomplish and manifest certain things, you can't neglect all the things that you've been through, because these are the things that's needed. That's the substance that's needed for you to manifest the things you want to do. All right, and you got to learn to express that and be relatable with it, because we know, like I said, you're already relatable and mutable with your emotions and feelings. But when we talk about the fire, this, like I said, the masculine version of Jupiter or Sagittarius, so it's more so pushing that out, because being relatable is not a one-way thing. It's not just communicating, the pushing out part, and it's not just listening, the honing in. Pisces can get caught on the listening edge, and it's another thing about y'all. That's why I say y'all good counselors, because y'all great listeners, But you don't want to get too caught up in being a great listener in life that people don't feel you out. We feel where you truly come from. You can't just be so go with the flowish. All right, and the 7th house Virgo going to show you that you can't be so going with the flowish too. You got to learn to be somewhat stable, because Virgo is mutable earth. So it's mutable, it's mobile earth. It's like the pebbles and dust on the ground that's moving and whatnot, but it's still grounded, but it's still stable in a sense. So you're going to learn that the partners that you manifest that are just thinkers, that are dry, that are not, you know, so emotionally available, they're going to show you that you need to when to tone it down from time to time, all right, and get more grounded in yourself and not too much into your feelings. But you know, you are what you are, so you got to make sure your energy doesn't overwhelm you. You can't not be yourself, all right? So that basically wraps up the energy of Pisces rising. These people, like I said, natural artists, natural teachers, and about that, rising to the status in the 10th house with Sagittarius. They're having Sagittarius in that constellation, people, period. You get broadcasted as somebody with wisdom that knows things, natural teachers, gurus, or people with knowledge and wisdom, you feel me? So, you know, you got to embrace that when you're in positions and scenarios to push that out and express that. Embrace that and take advantage of that, all right? And you'll see things growing. You'll be able to get from point A to point B in life, or the things they're trying to rise to status in and manifest in your life. All right, so that's the Pisces rising ascendant sign. All right, and let's, you know, y'all already know, let's finish this off with some Pisces rising celebrities. So we got Michael Jackson, natural artist, George Clooney, all right, Whitney Houston, all right, Ellen DeGeneres, Bruno Mars, Johnny Cash, Pablo Escobar, Jimmy Fallon, Dr. Phil, and George Clooney. So those are some, you know, Pisces celebrity icons right there. And that wraps up the Pisces rising ascendant, not the Pisces rising ascendant, but the rising ascendant series, all right? Within these videos, I repeat some of the same words over and over again. I just be getting tongue twisted sometimes. But y'all already know what it is. We're going to continue the big build in 2020, all right? There's a couple of videos that I want to do before I get into other series, like Planet series and whatnot, Planet Through the Houses series. But y'all already know what it is. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Follow me on IG. And y'all know how we come in 2020, family. Peace.